So, hello and welcome back. This is our 8th session of this so far
Whoa.
in a little over 2 months. So, pat yourselves on the back for being semi-consistent. Even though this is the easiest format to gather for D&D. Regardless, a bit of a update or recap, should I say, from the previous session. Twinkle hands. We had a little bit of a brotherly love session, and not the good kind of the beating the piss out of each other kind. Yes, upon which Rikus, somewhat thinking that his brother is acting strange, confronted him, and a fight occurred just outside the Carrion's Call where they were staying. After a short little brawl and a firm strike to Sakir's nuts by a good old friend of Sakir's, a man...
Rikus's.
Edmund.
Yeah, Rikus's.
Even you do it! Ha
I am so ashamed.
They're the same person, right?
At what point
You're
are
already
Rikus here going to just canonically be twins?
No, I'm the younger sibling.
You need to like Dragon Ball Z fuse together for one fight, just to really confuse people.
But you can't combine our names because they're the same name.
That would be pretty wild.
No, is this it's
Kirkus.
gonna be
Would the
Rakir?
fusion? Yeah, would
It's the
Or
Kirkus.
Rakdos.
Rakir?
Rakir or Sakis? Which one?
Either
I like
way,
Sakis.
So, Edmund, an old friend of Rikus, intervened, even though completely drained of blood, and actually hurt himself more in the process of attempting to incapacitate Sakir. Returning into the tavern, you guys spoke for a little bit, deciding to split up and do some different things. Rikus wanted to go in and check on Baby, after getting a note that his horse had arrived in the Riverside Port. The rest of the party wanted to go more towards getting ready to leave. Eventually all meeting at the Half Tower, where a half-man, a very intriguing figure who is very, very small, teleported you guys back to Revedan. Upon returning to Revedan, you had a short little discussion with Lycus Ernie and some issues arising in the Inexorables, primarily being the politics of being the only group that can track these umbral creatures, along with the fact that both of your umbral allies, that being Stolius and Trati and Pax Olamus, have at this point gone missing and are not in contact with Lycus at this point. So, leaving off with that, we last left off as Linen and Sakir are exiting Lycus's tower, seemingly having a new place to stay. So no one's left the school yet. So as they kind of ring down the tower, I don't know if you guys would still be there. You only would have had to wait a couple of minutes. But as you guys kind of come down, what would you guys like to do?
Linen will be talking to Sakir. Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that I have a place to stay. Last time someone kicked me out, it took me months to find a new place.
Oh, you got kicked out of your last place? Oh, I have a history of that too.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Maybe that'll make us only better for each other. What do you say?
Hopefully, I do. I'll have to read up on what it's like living together with another person. It's
Read up.
I think I have
He
a
does
book.
give you a weird look at that.
I think I have a book on it somewhere. Reaches into my bag, pulls out what's obviously like a dating guide. It's like, according to this, according to this book, living together with
Let me
another
see that.
person
I'm
is more.
gonna take it from you. I'm gonna start flipping through. Zach, contents of this book. What chapters should he not read?
Okay, so there are a few chapters, particularly, this seems to be a book focused around the School of Revedan. It seems to have been written by, like, a frat dude of some kind in the school, the Academy of Dusk. And so it does have, in, like, chapters 9 through 12, all the notes on attractive ratings and personalities of nearly every student of that age would be a appropriate age for our friend Lennon.
Lennon hasn't gotten that far yet in the book.
The first stages are like how to initiate conversation and how to like bring other people out of their shell and all that. It's mostly just social stuff, like how to get to know someone. And then it starts to get really frisky and raunchy pretty quickly. And then like chapter 12 and 13 is actively talking about the cougars in Half's corridor. The chapter is titled MILF Hunting.
So on a quick flip.
So you're
flip
saying
through-
there's an actual ad for MILFs near him?
This is likely one of the few copies
Exit
of
home.
this book.
Lennon hasn't gotten that far because he keeps rereading the first couple of chapters to get better at socializing with people.
So, what Sakir's gonna do is this is just a quick like look through over like a course of maybe 30 seconds. He just sees like a few words pop out here and there. He's like, okay, let me see here. I'm doing you a huge favor with this. Please don't freak out. So he's gonna just rip some sections of this book out and just stuff them in his pocket. It's like, okay, so you begin with these these socializing chapters. Not a bad start. I will say practice makes perfect. This won't do much in the real world, but I would avoid the pages I ripped out. Let me know if there's more I
You
need
really
to do.
shouldn't do that. That's quite a valuable copy for the library. We probably should fix that before.
I can assure you that that is mostly garbage,
Mm.
and most of that garbage is in my pocket. We'll be getting along fine.
If you decide it's not, we really should repair the book when we get the chat. Oh, okay. Well, anyways,
Anyway,
living
talking
together
about rooms.
compromise, I guess. Yes, rooms.
So as you guys are kind of like spiraling down the staircase, you kind of get to the bottom as you guys are saying this, and I'm peering out like Harry Harrington's a little ways down talking with some other students. The other three of you guys, are you guys sitting down at the base of the tower waiting for them, or have you dipped at this point?
I think Leo would be waiting for the rest of the group to show up.
Okay. Right.
And I also, while I'm speaking, I'll very briefly mention to everybody else, I'm having some weird internet issues, so if I randomly drop out, that is why. I might have to swap to my phone, because earlier there was a solid 2 minutes where I was watching some PowerPoints.
Nice.
I will say that the audio from the music bot is choppy.
It's not on my
Is it?
end.
I've turned it down.
I haven't had any issue with the Autobot.
Seems fine.
I have an
It's
idea.
everyone's audio. What the heck?
Okay, so it's your internet.
Send it to you.
At least I'm not the one with internet issues.
As he
2
freezes.
I see.
Well, as you guys know, my brother's.
Man, I can't
That was
believe
on purpose.
Rakus died.
I can't
And,
believe
like,
That was on
five
purpose. No way.
I guess Thomas doesn't get to play D&D anymore. So
Sad
anyway,
day.
I am going to assume that Rikus is still there waiting for his brother to come down. Wayne, would you like to have stuck around?
Yeah, I'm sticking around. This motherfucker's trying not to pay me any taxes.
We got paid,
yeah,
right?
that's
Interest. You're trying to not
Excuse me?
skip out on the interest.
You're trying to skip out from the interest. So
The
I
church
paid
takes
it.
their interest very, very seriously.
as you guys
You said annually. You said annually. And so
Monthly.
he overpaid, if anything. He did in the same day, and he gave a whole gold.
Monthly, technically.
We'll see if.
I can't believe
How
he
are you
came
doing,
back and
Rikus?
sounded even worse.
yeah.
And I can't believe Rick
Yeah,
just revived
it's a
himself from that.
monthly interest. You accrue the full 10% of the first month on the first day of the month.
Well, I am sick, so my voice might sound like a little weird, but
That's fine. Just throw your camera back up, and if we have internet issues, we can stop and halt things for a little bit. So, as all of you guys see Lennon and Sakir exit the spiral staircase, they seem to be talking about bedrooms and assignments. Sakir actively has like paper poking out of his pocket, which seems to have some kind of picture that you can't quite
Of a
know what it is, but
naked-
it does seem like a somewhat exposed being on it, somewhat lewd. As he rounds the corner, you guys all are just standing there talking amongst yourselves. What would you guys like to do?
Quick question, just for clarification's sake, what time is it, like, time of day wise?
Time of day wise, let me do some math. It's probably late afternoon at this point. You guys spent a little bit of time back in. Well, actually, wait. You guys didn't take a long rest before you exited, so it's probably early. It's early evening, 5, 6 p.m. at this point.
In that case, Leo will pull out a pocket watch, look at the time, snap it shut, and say, well, I believe I do have some engagements at home, but considering we need to be back here at 1 p.m., what would you all say to perhaps lunch at my place?
I thought he just said it was evening.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
to clarify. I'm saying lunch tomorrow before the meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, and after
Okay.
all, we're going to be working with each other. It would be nice to get to know each other better.
A new place and a free meal. Oh, great. I'll attend.
tonight if Kier here wants to give me that interest.
I'm sorry.
I thought he did pay you the interest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
paid
just
me
he's
1
24.
gold. See, that 10% accrues on the first day of every month. And seeing as it's the first day of the first month that he took out the loan from the church, it's accrued the full 10%.
Yeah.
My chin's gonna go up.
Half a percent.
He's gonna fold his arms. Okay. It seems to me that I signed some sort of contract to give you some percentage of my money to you. I will be fully willing to do that. You are completely correct. Can I see the contract?
I am going to. Hold on, I think I got this. I might be fucked. 1 second. Let me dig real quick.
Imagine Nate.
You start digging in your bag.
10-page essay.
He is going to pull out a very obviously blank piece of paper from his bag. And see, it's right here. Your signature too. And I'm going to boldface lie to him.
I'm gonna look over to Rikus. I don't know if he's feeling like a connection right now since we just argued, but that is like his go-to instinct of get a load of this guy. Like, I do not know what you want me to say, but I usually sign my documents with visible ink.
Secure, when did you buy? When did you borrow money from Wayne?
Now that you mention it, Wayne, what are you even talking about? I don't recall ever borrowing any money from you.
Okay, Secure, please roll me a deception check for everyone else.
Hold on, but you're not going to have Wayne roll one.
Here's the thing, Wayne.
Well-
There's no like knowing whether it's deceitful or not. Wayne knows it's deceitful. You all don't. So if he rolls above your passive insight,
I only rolled a 10. You guys know I'm lying. I don't think it matters much.
And I only have a passive insight of 10, so I believe you.
Where do I see my passive insight? Oh, I see it.
Yeah, you can see it on D&D.
Yeah, got it. I was looking at Boundary.
Brandon, what's your passive?
Yeah, he's definitely
14.
trying to lie, but it's not. It is an honestly emergency if everyone knows about it, because obviously this guy is trying to swindle him, and he is not standing for it.
I mean,
Nope.
I think
Looking down
think
on the
Leo's
fact
logic.
that this blank piece of paper is in fact the contract, and he's going to say, "No, remember you signed this contract, and it went invisible to prove that it was a binding contract.
Rikus is
So
just
obviously
gonna
they can't see it
shake
now."
his head.
Hold on, I'm just gonna roll something real quick.
That's funny.
Okay, I believe you. Secure, what did you borrow money for?
I thought he just said he
hold my
didn't
hand
borrow
up and
money.
point halfway down the page and be like, "Oh, it was when we were at the store."
Oh, that was when Leopold and I were at a different
So
store.
how do you
Yeah,
how do you reveal my writing?
I'm gonna go.
Let's go along with this. How do you reveal it?
And then I'm going to
Uncle Ducky.
accidentally cast Firebolt on the paper.
So
On the
as-
piece of paper, I'm just gonna Firebolt it. I'll be like, I think this is it. And I'm snap my fingers. And I'm gonna shoot a Firebolt and ignite the entire paper.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Ah!
as the paper burns to a crisp.
Ah!
Oh,
Damn
that's
it.
really not good for
That's the
binding
wrong one.
contracts. Secure, you might be in danger if this doesn't go through.
Well,
If that was
no, wouldn't Wayne be the one in danger because now there's no proof that no proof that Secure ever took out the money.
Yes, but Secure's the one who signed the oath, so the negative effects of the magical contract would fall squarely on him.
Well, that's implying that the magical contract is first and A, real in the first place, and B, that this magic doesn't cease once it's been burned.
Guys, both of you shut up. This obviously
would we
wasn't a
not?
magical contract. He is lying to the both of you, and it
I
was a
agree.
blank piece of paper that he just lit on fire.
I'm simply
There's
engaging in
nothing
the
magical about it.
hypothetical. I find it interesting.
Why would Wayne lie to us?
Why would a magical contract go up in flames without any protection on it?
Why would Secure lie to you? Clearly, I
Right,
just used accidental wrong spell.
Rikus is just sitting here puffing on his tobacco pipe, just like letting out a sigh every now and then, and just
And now
He's-
he's gonna turn back to you, and he's starting to get pretty annoyed by this. He says, "Okay, you know what? You're lying. You're deceiving. You are making fake contracts. You're trying to rob me. What kind of leader of justice does this kind of crap?"
If
How
I
close are we standing to each other right now?
He stepped up to you.
Close enough.
I'll say
Probably
close.
within 10 feet.
I'm gonna walk up to him, and I'm going to act like I'm going to say something absolutely brilliant. Like he's gonna kind of just like look at him, and then kind of look at the others and look back at him. And I'm going to attempt to snatch the lewd pictures from his pocket.
say, while this is
Your
going
pictures?
on, I want. While this is going on, Leo wants to like try and get everybody's attention in the situation so he can get off this topic and go back to the lunch
Okay, what do
thing
you
that he
do?
offered.
What do you do as they seem to be getting close and even more confrontational? What do you say?
He's just going to like step right up close to them and do a loud like clap clap, try and get everybody's attention.
Okay.
Which,
so
would you
as that
consider that like
happens,
a perception or persuasion performance roll?
I'm merely asking this. Wayne, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand,
All right.
and you can do
Versus.
it. It'll be versus Secure. How likely do you think you are to be even slightly distracted by Leopold kind of getting up close and clapping?
I mean, I'm tending to do it very like obnoxious and attention grabbing-y.
Grabby E. Love it.
Then I think so. I think that he is like, you're coming up as like, okay, now what is this person? Like he has already looked over to you at this point, not worrying about the guy walking up to
Okay.
him.
So you can
So.
also make, I don't know, a flat dexterity check, I'd say, but you're going to be doing it at disadvantage, considering you have
Fair.
been distracted in this case.
So I'm rolling straight, right?
You're rolling straight. He's at disadvantage.
Okay.
And you, if your sleight of hand is better than your dex, you can use that.
Damn. Better roll 20 twice.
Into the net one!
So close.
That has killed me.
So as you kind of
You're
turn
all-
over, you see Wayne snatch his hand out towards your waist, and you try and slap it away, but it's already pulled away with the papers from the dating book. So Wayne, as you pull
Those are mine.
So Wayne, as you pull up, there seems to be a description of a woman named Laranetta and it's just going through a description that is interesting. And there's finally a picture, but it is torn in half, so you don't get to see pretty much anything. But you do get to see the face of what looks to probably be like a multi-hundred-year-old elf woman with blonde hair.
I'll say, since it appears that neither of the two principal, arguers, combatants, whatever you call this here, have paid attention to me, I'm going to noticeably just put my hands on the shoulders and say, well, gentlemen, I believe my offer for lunch is still on the table, and I will look to both Linen and Rakus as I say this.
Oh yes, free lunch is always good for me. Good by me.
He's gonna say,
and
well,
I'll take these.
clearly you need that gold more than I do if you're gonna be going and seeing her again. Say hi for me, and I'm just gonna hand him back the documents.
I swear
Sophia, we still
on
need
my
to repair the
mother's
book.
soul, these do not belong to me.
Okay.
Secure,
don't
can I
have
have
to
those
say
back? Can I
here.
repair the book now?
Yes, see? It's his book that he's repairing, and I took it from him, and I'm going to give it back. And I took it from him originally because, to my judgment, it wasn't good for him to have them. But
Thank
you're
you.
right, we should repair the book.
I'll walk off next to Ragus, start casting mend to put the pages back together.
Does anybody else...
Well, you can still say,
Go ahead, Wayne.
do what?
Go ahead, Wayne.
I was just gonna say, you can still say hi.
Does
You know that
anyone-
book was written. Never mind.
Does
Will you
anybody
say-
else wish to respond to Leopold's invitation to a lunch tomorrow morning? Late morning.
Lunch sounds brilliant. But for now, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Rikus is just he's going to nod to Leopold and to accept the invitation, then turn to his brother and say, "So you owe the corrupt priest money."
Look me in the eyes and tell
He's
me
corrupt.
whether I owe that man any money.
Well, I don't know. Did you borrow money?
Yes, I borrowed money, and I paid him back the interest that I said I would. Now, if he had been more specific, maybe I would have paid more. And he's trying to swindle me through his silver tongue without prior planning of contract. Something that, graciously, the gods have given me some sort of experience with. Something unusual.
Oh. Well. That's what you get with a corrupt priest.
Didn't know he's corrupt until now. Some god of justice. I need to talk to you as well.
Also, just so I remember, did Sakira say a yes or not?
Oh, I was one of the first people to say yes.
Everybody-
Right after Linen.
Everybody's thumbed up thus far except for Rikus.
Well,
What do you mean I
thought
nodded my
Rakus-
head at him?
Yeah.
Okay,
In that
you're-
case,
yeah,
Leopold
okay.
will make his exit.
Okay, so Leopold will exit.
See you tomorrow.
And I'll let them finish their scene, but then I do have a few things I would want to do.
Okay, will do. So,
I probably shouldn't have interrupted.
Wayne
Oh
and
well.
Leopold have now exited, yes. We have the three of you still there, if you wish to continue.
Linen, why don't you go ahead? You can fix that book up while you're at it. I need to
I'll meet you there.
apologize.
I'll meet you there. I'll try. For what? Anyways, I'll meet you there. I'll try and get everything cleaned up and try and move some of my stuff before you get there.
Sure. Yeah.
He'll take his leave.
Rikus. I'm not sorry, and I think that you should know that. You probably my mind was meddled with, and there was a lot of thoughts that were not my own. And I want to tell you now, as someone who's just had their mind purged of anything that could have any hold over it, that in a clear mind, that I meant every word I said. And I don't hate you. Though I do feel you abandoned me.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta leave the Discord. The music's doing the thing again, and it's causing everyone to flip out. Sorry.
Can you just mute the music?
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful timing.
The cliff.
Yeah, the cliff.
All right, let's see if that fixes it. Okay.
Camera.
Fuck. Reich is taking a long drag from his pipe. Thinks for a moment and is like, I was never upset at you either. And unfortunately, I don't think I could apologize for what I did those years ago, but I do want you to know that I did miss you, brother. And as far as the whole thing with sending people to know your whereabouts, that was just me using my resources to know you were still safe. Or at least alive. That's what happens when you have an older brother.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to make sure we were all good there.
And then he as soon as you say that, he just pauses you before you turn to go and goes, but there is another thing we should probably talk about. Obviously, you were under my control for the whole dagger situation, which I am still upset about. But
Me too.
and he pauses for a moment and says, I don't know if this is best to bring up now. And he hesitates for another moment and says, never mind, I'll get back with you on that one. And he begins to trot off.
Rest. And then, yeah, I head home. The new home.
So as you guys separate, Rikus leaves first with Sakir soon behind, both heading to their respective apartments. Leopold, we'll start with you, since you mentioned you had a couple specific things you wanted to do. What would you like to
So
do?
there are two things. The first, well, necessary depending on how you look at it. The first is something I thought of after I left and would have been really funny. As Leo is leaving, some with more perceptive ears might hear him muttering, "Shit! I just brought out Rakus. Yvonne's gonna kill me." And to rectify that hopefully oncoming situation, on his stop on the way home, Leo is going to get Yvonne some flowers, mainly because I wanted to use this prop. Well, I say prop, it's a real flower that I got.
Nice.
So he's going to bring some flowers home.
You can go ahead and I'm gonna take a couple silver off of your character sheet as you pick up a nice bouquet of Thinking of Yvonne, I would think something like a daisy or a daffodil, a brighter flower, would likely be something more her speed. So a small, bouquet of flowers as you make your way home.
Going back home, what does Yvonne say when she opens the door and sees me with the flowers?
So, as you knock on the door, Yvonne opens the door very easily. This massive door, just pulls it wide open, looks at you in the face, looks at the flowers, looks at your shoes, notices they're dirty, looks back up at the flowers and then back to you. I'm assuming you've done something that you've regretted already.
Well, I don't know what gives you that impression. There were, well, you see, I was out after I
Take your
returned
boots off and
from
come.
our mission. Leo does take his boots off as he walks inside, continuing with the story. I was out on the town of the mission, and there were all of these eligible bachelorettes who kept trying to make advances on me. So I had to find someone to get them off. And so I saw this flower stand, and I thought, oh, if I buy flowers, I can tell them that I have them. So here are the flowers, Yvonne, and I also invited 4 guests over for dinner, one of whom is Rakus.
As you say that, she turns back around and kind of smirks and says, "It took you that long just to say that last part?"
Well, I thought of the story on the way over, and I didn't want to waste it.
That is fair. The bachelorette part was not at all convincing, but the flowers might be able to get something out of that story. Well, at least the place is cleaned for it, even though I'm going to have to deep wash everything after they leave. What time?
Lunch tomorrow. Probably a bit on the earlier side, since we have a meeting for a group at 1 p.m. in the Academy of the Dusk.
Well, alright. I guess that's fine. You're the master of the house. Is there a particular meal you would like?
It's been so long since we've had a guest not named Theobald over. I think something along those
Nonchalantly expensive that no one else would ever be able to afford.
Sushi.
I would make a comment about this being inland, but we're also on a river, so maybe something on the simpler side. Nobody in the group is quite refined as taste as I do. You've already met Rikus, and most of them are about his caliber. Maybe not caliber, about his level of refinement.
Well,
Those are just one of the more academic types.
something
who might,
along, say, fried fish, sautéed onions, maybe a few extra special sauces and sides.
Brilliant, Yvonne.
Alright, would we like to break out any particular vintage for the occasion? Or would we like to give the cheap stuff, the real cheap stuff?
I would like to make a good I suppose not first impression, but close enough to it. I think it's best if we go for something more on the expensive side. Though I imagine we'll probably only use 1 bottle between the 6 of us. Or 5 of us. I don't intend to get too inebriated, considering we do have a very important meeting afterwards.
Alright, well, knowing the type, if they are like, what is his name, Rikus, that dark-skinned fellow. If they are like him, then likely maybe 1 or 2 cheaper bottles to get them into it with the meal, and then a more expensive Chardonnay of some form to cap the meal out. It shouldn't get you all too poorly wasted for the meeting. I'll have it all prepared. I'll have to go out and purchase some of it this evening so it can begin the process, since it'll be, say 11 in the morning?
Probably thereabouts.
Well, alright. I will go and begin working on that. Clean yourself up and try not to make anything dirty while you're at it.
Will do. But first, he pulls out the letter from... No, I guess I don't know if we would have kept it on or left from here, but first I do have a letter to answer. So,
Yes.
who knows, might be even more news of father.
That is fair. Just let me know whenever you do, and as she's saying that, she grabs a small sack of coins and a set of keys off the wall and begins to prepare, like throw a cloak on, hood up, get ready to go out to the store. And as she exits the premises, I'm assuming you go and you wash up. Is there anything else you'd like to narrate in this point? Or
Besides the answering of the letter, no. Although one thing I remembered and then forgot and then remembered again, I don't know if any of you besides Rikus knows where Leo lives, so he would have given you all location before leaving.
Yes. So, as we move on from Leopold, Wayne Casaurus Rex, what would you like to do this evening? We're, mid-evening. By the time you really get anywhere, it'll be close to 6:30.
I am going to go check in with the church and then take my penance, bound mount for a spin around the city.
Okay, so Periwinkle.
Yes.
So as you go back to the like little rented shack that you guys use for a church, you kind of stop by. No one seems to be in at the moment. It seems to have already been locked up for the day. So as you kind of step inside, the place looks well cleaned. The benches are all, dusted away. There's nothing really out of sorts. You know where Periwinkle would be. He would be at the house of Martha and Gerald, which is just down the street. They are maybe half a block away. So as you kind of exit the church, blow out the last candle, and make your way down the street, this is a fairly lively area of town. So there's a little bit of rompus and ruckus as you're going by, some people drunk already. And as you kind of dodge one last drunken Goliath, you make your way to the home of Martha and Gerald. And the door is open, as per usual. This golden light floods, and the smell of freshly baked bread and cookies just wafts out the front door. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna just head on in. I suppose dinner wouldn't hurt.
Alright, so as you walk in, you're immediately hit even harder with the smell of probably at this point, lukewarm roast, as there is a massive plate on the table with a huge slab of meat that it seems everyone has moved on from, and you see Martha, Gerald, Percy, and Periwinkle all sitting in the living room to your right, as the dining room is to your left.
I'm gonna wave. Evening, y'all. Head over for the table, grab a plate or something.
Alright. So as you go over and grab a plate, Gerald is going to very slowly prop himself up and stand up. He's gonna get his little cane and walk over slowly to the table and say, was your where were you?
Down south, bringing some justice to some individuals not native to this plane.
Oh, yeah. Justice to the heretics. It seems like you're going to be taking a fairly active position away from the city. What are your plans for the church while you're gone?
Well, and we have all of our small house churches, and I think those will stay just fine while I'm away. And I'll try and be back on
Looks at calendar.
yeah, on the 30th for our monthly large sermons. I'd very much like to still be a part of those as often as I can.
Alright, so the third
Tius.
T's.
At 3:33. Remember?
Everything, 30s. Alright. You hear that, Martha? And she goes, yes, honey, I heard. And he's gonna say, oh, alright. Also, what about Periwinkle?
Well, when I am around, such as this evening, we'll go for a stroll, and he may serve his penance out in the normal fashion.
Alright.
Otherwise, he can just help you out with whatever it is that you need, and that shall suffice.
Alright. We'll make sure he carries the groceries and such. I'm definitely getting a little too old. Percy's actually been doing very well on the streets. He learned some like fire breathing technique. He's actually made 3 gold in the past couple days.
Wow.
I mean, in silver and copper, but amounts to about 3 gold.
I'm gonna pull out just a small little notebook and go, well, according to my calculations, Periwinkle's got about 37 days left on his penance, so
Oh my.
he's almost done with it.
Almost. I thought it was 38 days, and I thought that was about a week ago.
I'm feeling generous today. I suppose you're right. I've been out of town for a bit, and I might have forgotten a few hash marks, shall we say.
It's alright. I mean, I'm not the best. I'm a arithmetical mind. I don't know how to say that right. You know best. You're the speaker of Kellenport. Regardless, as you've seen, there's food prepared. Martha's got a batch of cookies in the oven. And just, let us know if you need anything. You gonna be staying here tonight?
Yes.
Alright, the guest bedroom's all prepped and ready for you.
Thank-
Just have Periwinkle sleep on the couch down here tonight.
Will do.
Alright, and as he says that, he kind of begins walking very slowly with his very hunched back over to the couch where he sits down. So what would you like to do this evening, Wayne?
I'm going to collect a plate, have myself a nice little plate, till I hang out till I can have a cookie or two. And then I'm going to take Periwinkle for a humiliating spin around the neighborhood to help, pay his penance.
Okay.
We'll just do 1 or 2 laps around the neighborhood, and then we'll turn in for the night.
Alright. As per usual, as you walk through this area, the numerous amount of youths who are out at this time of night kind of point and laugh and snicker and giggle to each other. As per usual, when you walk by riding Periwinkle. Periwinkle's shoulders get more and more slouched and hunched, and his head gets more and more towards the ground the longer the walk goes. He is thoroughly humiliated. And as you come back into the house, are there any last ticket items before we close out your evening?
I'm going to tell him that he was good this evening, and he deserves a few cookies. And then I'm going to head to the guest room.
Alright, will do. So as Wayne closes out his evening, we're going to move to the last solo scene with Rikus as he goes out this evening, because Secure and Lennon will be doing it together. So, Rikus, what would you like to do this evening?
Nice.
Well, Rikus is well, he's gonna go back to his apartment first. He's going to offload a good chunk of his gear, make sure everything's in order there. He's gonna put on some of it. He's gonna, kind of get changed into some more common clothes. kind of getting out of she's they were traveling and fighting, and he's gonna take his normal wear. He's gonna take some of his clothing out to the one of the cleaners he knows that typically cleans his what's it called? Uniform. His uniforms from when during his service, and he goes out there, drops the clothes off, says, "I'll need these by tomorrow morning," and walks off. Makes his way over to Barry's, Bob's, and Bits.
All right. It is late evening. So
He knows Barry's still open.
As you kind of step over and bang on the door of this really rickety looking wood and iron wrought building, it seems like it was probably wood to start, and then he started adding iron supports as the wood began to rot through, and now it's a 50-50. So as you kind of walk up, the sign says closed, but you know Barry. And so as you knock on the door, opening up, let me pull up. I believe Barry was... I don't remember Barry very well. Do you remember what race Barry was supposed to be? Because I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be a gnome.
That sounds right.
Yeah, we're gonna play with that. So as Barry opens the little door at the bottom and peeks up, he closes and opens the big door. And as you walk in, he says, "What do you want?"
Oh, come on, Barry. The usual.
The sign says closed, Rikus.
And my name's Rikus.
Closed.
Rikus, Psychus, get out of my sightus. What, the usual? Alright. Walks back and begins loading up the usual, shavings, some bullets, some leather straps, and some other stuff, and all begins preparing it. So, nothing special? Not a single new thing? You're gonna wake me up for this? I wasn't really asleep, but I'm gonna say I was.
Rikus is gonna cough a little bit. No, but well, let's see. Do you have any new tinctures? Any new concoctions of things?
I've got a couple, but I don't think it'd be anything you'd be interested in. Mostly just party tricks. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Thomas walking over to the potion stand quickly so he can see all the different potions he can make.
Potion seller.
This guy has everything.
I've got this one that I made yesterday. It's a little tincture with a whole bunch of mixes in it. And you drink it. It's only about an ounce. You drink it, you swallow half of it. The other half you leave in your mouth. And whenever you burp, flames come out of your mouth.
Oh, no, that's a good one. Yeah, go ahead and throw that one in the box.
Alright. That'll be, an extra 2 gold as per usual.
Yeah.
I'll put it on your tab.
Do you have anything related to... Oh... Demons? Demon King?
Demons. I'm not a church.
Or maybe
Rikus.
identifying one.
I'm not a church. don't deal with demons. I deal with gunpowder and metal. Why are you dealing with demons? Hold on, wait a second. What's up with demons?
Oh, they're not very nice creatures, apparently.
I'm so surprised. They've only been in a blood war with the devils and everything else that they come across over the last couple millennia.
That's true. I can't remember if I had holy water over on Baby, but she's on a boat right now. So, do you have a bottle of holy water?
Why is Baby on? Yeah, I have a bottle of holy water. Who doesn't have a bottle of holy water? You gotta stop possession somehow.
Yeah, go ahead and throw one of those on there too. Let's see. And as he's sitting there thinking, he's gonna pause and go, "Oh, I'm going to need a couple more syringes and some just empty vials again. We ended up using quite a few on our last little trip, so if you throw
Always use
probably about a
quite
dozen
on
of
every
those."
Trip. You blood hunter weirdo. As he grabs a couple more items, sets them in your little basket.
I think that'll do though.
That'll do.
Anyways,
Alright, as per usual, you close your tab at the end of the month. I'll make sure to note everything you picked up.
will do, Barry. Thank you. And he grabs the box and makes his way.
Remember, Rikus, next time you knock past 6 p.m., you're gonna be met with a blunderbuss to the nuts, alright? Because I can't aim him any higher. And he slams the door behind you.
Bars.
What did you say, Jade?
Bars. Yeah, that didn't pick up very well.
I think the funny thing would be is that Rikus always shows up after closing, and he says that every time.
Absolutely, he does.
This is like the usual interaction every single time I go there.
So, is there any other depressed single bachelor things you would like to do this evening, Rikus?
Yes. He's gonna go home, because all of his uniform wear and gear are, they're being, like, his leathers and such are being at the dry cleaners. They're being cleaned professionally. I'm gonna go home and I'm going to work on cleaning my boots and re-waxing them.
Alright.
So that, and then he's gonna hit the hay for the night after reading through some pamphlets of things and some paperwork and writing things down. And he's gonna just looking into things that were on his mind at the moment, and then go to bed.
Alright. So as we close up with Rikus, we now move to the main event of the night. Lennon and Sakir. So
God.
Sakir will be about 2 minutes behind Lennon. So Lennon, as you walk down this main thoroughfare, there is... It's like it's almost a sketchy building. Like, it itself isn't very sketchy, but there is a massive sign that, like, has every few letters blinked out. And so, while it's supposed to say, like, Skyward Apartments, it more like says Cywad Apartment. It's kind of
Good
sketchy.
job.
And so as you kind of walk up, going inside the fence, it actually doesn't look too bad inside. Like, the area looks well clean. There is a pool. So, there's that pretty cool amenity. You have a key already, and you know what room it is. So as you walk into this big building, it's got 8 stories, and you guys are on the 6th floor, if memory serves. So as you kind of walk in, the front desk receptionist, seemingly some kind of, like, Earth genasi, woman is sitting behind the desk, and as you walk in, she says, "Hello, welcome to Skyward Apartments. What can we do for you?"
Oh, hi. My name is Linen Weave. I was just assigned a room here from the Academy of Dusk.
Oh my, you stutter a lot. All right,
Yeah.
so on the 6th floor, there is a little storage room, and she kind of pulls out a key and says, "Can you show me
Oh,
your key? Where's your key?"
Here.
As
Yeah.
you pull it out, she says, all right, so you're in room 613.
Okay.
Just down the hall eastward, there is a storage room that has all of you and your roommates' amenities that have already been purchased, and you guys can move them in however you wish this evening.
Okay. Thank you. A quick question. What's the?
Get it done.
I'm not quite aware of like noise policies and the like. Are there anything we should be aware of?
Every few nights expect to be kept up a little bit. I mean, noise policies are pretty minimal here. We are one of the cheaper apartments on this side of town. So, at the end of the day, you're going to have some people ramble a little bit more. If you want, you can call the Zof guard on them, but probably nothing's going to happen.
Okay. Thank you. Gosh, I just met my roommate the other day, and I don't really know too much about them.
Well, as long as
but
they don't have a thing about blood, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah. I think it'll be fine.
Well, alright, go ahead and head on up. I'm sure your roommate won't be too far behind you.
Yeah. His name is Sakir. I didn't catch his last name, but he should be along shortly.
Alright, well, the stairs are right there.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You as well. And as Linen, you leave and begin walking up this back and forth set of stairs. Sakir, you also approach Skyward Apartment. And walk through the front gate. You see a pool. That's pretty dope. However, you look a little bit closer into it, and this pool definitely hasn't been cleaned for probably a couple months. So you would never swim in this, like, ever. You make your way inside, and maybe taking a little bit more in than Linen did on his first time. You see there is a little plaque that says front desk associate. Lyris seems to be this woman's name, this Earth Genasi. And as you enter in, she says, "Sakir?"
Lyris? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
assuming you met my roommate already?
Yes, I did. He stutters a lot. He's a little weird. He has already begun making his way up. He already has the key to the storage room with all of your guys' amenities, that being tables, chairs, benches, a couple couches, and the beds that you will have to set up. I hope you have the tools for that. And then all of your personal belongings that were brought here as well, if any of yours were brought here.
All right, here.
Doesn't have a fucking Allen wrench. Has to go find Rikus for an Allen wrench.
Why an Allen wrench?
Allen wrenches are
Specifically.
generally the tool put with, like, do-it-yourself beds and stuff. It's not like
Okay.
a drill, it's an Allen wrench.
Okay.
Either way, so do you also begin to make your way up the stairs?
Yep.
So
Nothing more to do.
as you're walking up the stairs, you're a couple flights behind Linen. And Linen, as you get to the top of the stairs and you walk down, you find room 613, and then you keep heading east, and you find the storage room. And you put the key in, and you kind of jiggle it, and it doesn't want to open, and you do it some more, and then it clinks, it pops open. And you open the door, and it is best how to put it, it is like a 10 by 10 by, 8 foot tall ceiling room that is almost filled with just stuff. There are multiple bookshelves that have books terribly organized, set off to the side that are, your personal belongings and stuff. And a small bag of clothes and some other stuff, and an extra, cloak and some other stuff. But all of your personal belongings seem to be in a corner, and then there's, multiple ginormous boxes that is, a do-it-yourself bed 2 beds, 2 couches. There's actually 3 beds because there's 3 bedrooms, 2 couches, a recliner. There's multiple other chairs and tables and stuff in there. And as you're just looking and you are just astounded by how much stuff there is here, Sakir, you exit the stairs and you see Linen step into a room down the hall.
Surely this isn't all meant for just 2 people. This is too much. I'm just gonna take my stuff and just.
I mean,
this is
the
certainly
couch wouldn't
someone
hurt.
else's.
No,
Linen
people
doesn't.
tend to overcompensate things.
Linen doesn't notice you come. Oh, Sakir! I don't
Hey.
think this is all of our stuff. I think our stuff got mixed in with someone else's. This is too much.
No, people tend to overcompensate things. That's something I found a lot. Yeah, we only need like Is there like a singular couch in here, Zach?
Yes. It is not put together, but there is like a boxed-in couch.
That's
Only
not a
need like
couch.
this. I'll
It's just
kick the
a
box.
It's just a box. What?
I'm
Okay,
going
what-
to open the box. What?
So are you opening the box here, or are you going to try and take the box into your bedroom? Or into your...
Were you serious? You thought it was just a box and didn't have a
Yeah.
couch in it?
Yeah. He's never seen.
He's
He's
gonna
never
give you a fucking
seen like packaged furniture before.
He's going to take out a knife. Definitely not. This isn't the usual use for it. And goes ahead and like just cuts open the top, any like string that was holding it, just so you can open it up.
Inside there is a series of like compressed cushions and wooden beams and supports.
Fascinating.
Couch. No,
They didn't-
not
they
really. I'll let you know when something's
have this
fascinating. This
where
isn't
I'm
it.
from.
This isn't it.
Oh. Okay. What do we do about all this other stuff then?
I mean, I guess we keep it here unless we want it. Do you want a bed?
Looks at my pile of like books and shit. I don't know if I'll have space for a bed. I probably should see what the room is first.
That's actually a good idea. Let's go look at the room.
So as you guys exit this little storage and begin walking back down the hall, you pop open the door to your room. As you do, a room 607, so 2 or 3 rooms down, that door also pops open. And as you guys are about to step inside, you see a really, really old Earth Genasi dude step out of this room with a pair of young human women, one under each arm, as they step out of the room. And he looks to you guys and says, "Hey, how's it going? You the new neighbors?"
Good evening. Yes. My name is Linen Weave. Nice to meet you. He goes to like shake his hand, but quickly retracts it.
I wouldn't
He
touch him.
He says, "Honey, go ahead and shake his hand." And the woman on the right goes and shakes your hand.
He'll shake the woman.
He says,
Nice to meet you.
"Yeah, nice to meet you as well. When have you guys it's your first day here, yeah?"
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, all right.
And you? How long have you lived here?
Oh, I've lived here for about 17 years.
I see.
Yeah. My
What's
name's
your
Pete.
name?
Well,
And he's going to motion for the girl on the left to hold her hand out towards you, Sakir.
I don't shake hands. He's gonna hold up his arm, which is covered in scars and bandages. Like, there's
I'm sure you
there's
got
reasons.
a lot of stories there, yeah?
What was his name again? Sorry.
Pete.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So how many of you live in that room?
Oh, just me. These
Yeah, I
guys are
thought
only
so.
here for the night. And he kind of
Yeah.
pulls his arms out and claps and says, "Well, if you ever want to have a little bit of a party, just let me know. We'll have a good time. How old are you?"
Who's he talking to? Both of us, or just?
My exact age. 1 second. I have my exact age. I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I have my answer. I'm just wondering, is he talking to both of us?
Yeah, he's talking to both of you guys.
25.
25. All right. And you're Air Genasi, yeah?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you, good young fella.
73.
73. Not quite as old as me.
Mm.
I'm 89. I should be dead.
What?
It's the code
Are you
that
sure
keeps me
you're not
alive.
69?
No, he is not. So as he kind of nods to y'all, he says, "Look, if you ever want any good party, I just wanted to make sure y'all were of legal age. Anyway." And as he puts his arms back around the women and slides around you, he says, "Y'all have a good night moving in. Just let me know if you need any help. I can get some extra hands for you." And he walks
Oh,
down
thank
the
you.
stairs with them.
Thanks, Pete.
He was a nice man. Why didn't you
keep
shake
thinking
her?
that?
Why didn't you shake their hand, Secure?
Your social skills need some work, and it's not going to come from that book. If you would like me
What?
to explain it to you, we're going to have a heart-to-heart for about 5 hours to catch you up on everything you've
Oh,
missed
no.
on in your hours spent in those books, okay?
But I have to research the note tonight.
Then do that instead, and I'll let you know when you're older. Sound good? Now let's check out the room.
Oh.
Okay, so as you guys walk in, it's actually a pretty nice apartment. It's probably 1,500 square feet, with a pretty large open area as a living room, a kitchen, and then 3 actually pretty large bedrooms. They're about like 15 by 12 bedrooms, and there's 3 of them, yes, and a singular bathroom.
3 bed, 1 bath.
3 bed, 1 bath. Full kitchen.
With this
There
much
is
space.
a suspicious bucket that is cleaned, but is in the 3rd bedroom's closet.
Why is it suspicious?
You
It's
it
just
might
a
have been
bucket.
second bathroom.
Look, Secure, a free bucket.
You were told this was a 2-bathroom.
Look, Secure,
Oh.
a free bucket.
Wasn't this a 2-bath?
Was it?
You might be holding the second toilet.
Why would the bucket be a toilet?
I don't know. Maybe so that they could count it as another. Either way, I would analyze the bucket closely before putting it any closer to your face.
Looks at bucket. It's clean, right? Oh well.
Clean,
maybe-
right?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
The first roll.
Alright, here we
No, it's
go.
not, never mind.
Hold on. Let me just get
That's
some of that.
stupid.
Yes.
Big money, no whammies.
What have you been posting?
17. Here you go.
Totally clean.
Jay,
Oh, I'm rolling too.
I told both of you guys to, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was the one holding it, so he was rolling.
Yeah.
No, I can do that.
It is a clean bucket. I don't know what you mean.
What do I have? Like a +4,
Plus 58.
5.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I'll take a 58. That sounds nice. I apologize, I wasn't ready, so it's gonna take a second longer than usual.
Oh my gosh. It's alright, we can
I'm
just go
sorry.
with his roll. If it's gonna take you that long.
I just got it.
Alright.
It wasn't good.
So, Secure, as you look at it, the outside actually doesn't look too bad. And since he's holding the bucket, he kind of holds a little light to the inside. And as you do, there seems to be residue of some very unique liquids at the bottom. There's nothing there, but as you're looking at it, you get a strange, like, sweet smell. You have no clue what this bucket was used for, but
A sweet smell?
it definitely could have been cleaned a little bit better.
Does the
Is it like
smell-
that industrial cleaner sweet smell?
What did you say, Aiden?
Is it like that industrial cleaner sweet smell?
No. More fruity.
Like urinal cake?
That is kind of what I was going for, yes.
Okay. Well, either way,
See,
I think we
clean.
should move the couch in.
Well,
yeah,
we get-
sure. Wash it anyway. Just to be safe.
Starts casting prestidigitation.
There you go.
The smell immediately goes away.
Well,
Memories.
we looking at this place, I think we have enough space for all those boxes.
Sure. But we could also have a lot of space for, books, experiments.
That's what I'm saying. We
Relax.
can put all the boxes in one room. What if someone else wants to use the storage?
You're right. It's weird that you're able to think of others in those circumstances. That's good of you. I don't know
What do
if
you
that's
mean?
progress or if that's something you're just good at. I don't know. That was considerate of you. Good job.
I mean, when you think about the medical effects of, herbs on people, you obviously have to think of others.
Yeah. Right. Right.
What?
Anyway, like the same thing.
I'm sorry, am I being awkward again?
Usually, when you have to ask the question, you know the answer. I'll put it that way.
What? I asked the question because I don't know the answer, though.
If you have to ask the question, then the answer is yes.
Huh.
Lesson one.
Write that down.
So as you make your way back to the storage room, and you get in, and you guys get one person on each side of this box with the couch in it, you lift up, and you begin walking towards the hallway. Secure. As you're backpedaling into the hallway, you check your angles, and as you try to pull it through, the box is too wide for this doorway.
You suck, Zach. You suck. Let's get past the couch.
How would you like to approach the fact that the box is too big?
Build it in the hallway? I don't know.
Hold on. Let me.
Okay, is the smallest width of the box large enough to block the entirety of the hallway?
No, it
Yeah,
actually
give me it.
seems like this was shrunk as it was moved into the room.
Give me. Wood linen, think of me.
So, the immediate thing is like, dang, it won't fit. I guess we're gonna have to take the pieces into the room from the box in the hallway and then put the box back.
That's true. If only we had.
Problem solving.
If only had some way to relocate this. If only had some way to shrink this box.
Can you? Can I put it in a bag of holding? No, the rules don't work that way for Zach.
No, no, no.
I mean, we stuck a whole barrel in there somehow, so.
So we can go ahead and skip by this.
Yeah.
You guys are able to pull pieces and
Yeah.
We shoved the entire box.
Get the
the door frame.
specifics of exactly how you assemble this couch.
don't have an Allen wrench. Okay.
Dang
Can
So
What
as
about
you
a
guys-
Steve wrench?
can we break the box smaller, so that way we can get the box inside?
Sounds like a great idea. Regardless,
Perfect.
I'd say you guys together can put your half of a consecutive brain cell together and work out a way to get this box into your living room. Is there anything in particular? I know of one thing we're going to do tonight with at least one of you, but is there anything else you guys would like to do in terms of interacting this evening?
Oh yes. I don't think Lennon actually took note of where Leopold's place was, so he's just gonna.
I'm sorry, I did mention that I realized I forgot to explicitly say it
Yeah.
in character, so I flashbacked it either then or sometime before,
That's
probably
true.
right then.
That's true, but Lennon was also busy mending a book.
True.
So it's like, oh, I just remembered, Secure. We don't know where Leopold lives.
Oh no, he told us the address.
He
Here,
did.
I'll write it down.
You can
He
write.
takes out one of Zach and right. I'm
Amazing.
sorry. Did you think I was stupid?
No, I thought you were. Never mind.
He just thought you were illiterate.
I don't think.
No, I
just think you're untaught.
know several languages. I'm
Yes,
offended,
you can-
honestly.
No, you can speak listen. People can speak languages, but that doesn't mean they can always write them.
You have to do quite a bit of learning in my line of work, and to do learning, you need to know to write and read and understand things to
I'll be quite
consume
honest. I
information.
don't actually know what work you've been doing all this time.
A hunt. You gotta track things down. You gotta know how they act. You need to know your enemy, so to speak. Anyway, I was going to offer to help with any of the deciphering. I know that you would know more than me, but
Oh yes, if you do know. So, give it. What languages do you know? Actually, that might.
well,
I'm just realizing you did manage to read Infernal, so that's a linen L right there. Whoops.
Linen elf.
Linenel. Well, for one, Elvish, which
Okay.
we gotta teach you that, by the way. Everyone else speaks Elvish except for you. We need to
Really?
fix that.
Damn,
Yeah,
I know I
literally
should-
everyone else in our party.
Damn. I took Dwarvish class.
Well,
Damn it.
variety's good too.
Maybe one day. I'll work on it. I'll start working on it.
Let's see. Languages. Ah! Zach. D&D's being stupid. Okay, found it. Okay, yes, I learned Celestial. I know Common, obviously. Elvish, Infernal.
I know Celestial, Common, Primordial, Dwarvish.
Primordial, that's interesting.
Yes, well, when you have to commune with the primal spirits on the Flying Fist, it comes in handy.
Right, as you do. Anyway, couch set up. I'll take that room. Oh, that blood pot, I can take that off your head. I have a bag
Oh,
full
okay.
now.
Oh, okay, sure. Just... There you go. What are you planning to... I've never asked, what do you actually do with all this blood? Aside from consume it, I guess.
Yes, I do consume it. It's rather disgusting. That is a long conversation. Possibly even longer than teaching you social skills. We can have that another time. And maybe after you learn Elvish.
Oh, the receptionist did say she doesn't like blood, so be careful about it with her.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
How
I'll
much
see what I
blood,
can do.
How much blood are you planning to have?
Oh, it's not just blood. It's mostly blood. Yeah, a lot.
Oh dear.
It's alright. It'll be fine, right?
We'll have to figure that out.
Keep them in bags of holding.
I guess.
Anyway, I'm gonna get some rest. I've been wanting to sleep for about 12 hours now.
Oh yes, it's been a long day. 2 sessions, anyways.
Okay, so, Linen.
Yep.
I would like you to make me a couple checks.
Yes, sir.
I would like a history investigation, and I'm going to say they don't have a linguistics check, which is kind of cringe. We're gonna say if there's
Make one.
Make one. There is a little bit of this in there, so I'll say in our religion check as well. So
Got it.
Religion investigation history.
Okay, I will roll investigation first.
So, while those are being rolled, Thomas, does Pathfinder fix this?
Fix what?
Not 20.
The lack of a linguistic skill.
Linguistic skill?
Yeah, does Pathfinder fix this? We all know the joke. Pathfinder fixes
Religion?
everything.
I mean,
10 on religion. History. Fuck. 14
Yeah,
on
that's nice.
history.
Okay. Go ahead and while you're at it, just roll me a flat intelligence check as well. Like just
Gotcha.
intelligence.
Hey!
Yep,
Okay.
that's a 21.
Okay. Okay.
It's been a long day for Linen.
You're gonna spend a little bit of time on this. Is Linen willing to sacrifice not getting a long rest?
Yes.
Okay. Or just having a very late morning wake up.
Yes.
Didn't you do that last night?
Yes, he did do it last night as well. Linen Linen is going to pass out in the next combat.
Linen is the like the amalgamation of the meme, just I don't need sleep, I need answers, just
Yeah.
incarnate. So Linnet,
I'm gonna beat you guys.
you are, oh my gosh, you are going to spend from this point, which is probably about 8:30, you are going to be spending about 5 or 6 hours working on this before you have a semi-working deciphered text. You'll still get a long rest, but you will not wake up until very, very late next morning. I am about to paste this to you in Discord.
Yep.
As you are the only one with the note, and you can read it out to the party when we see them next morning.
Okay. Hit me with it.
If you see us,
This is true. I have expected to be carried to lunch. Or maybe I'll just be abandoned, who knows. Let me see.
Okay. So, as we all wake up in the morning, our early risers would likely be Leopold and Rikus. So, do either of you guys have anything you would like to do this morning before your brunch?
Yes, I'm going to go pick up. Well, I guess they wouldn't be up yet. Well, actually, yeah, before the brunch, Rikus is going to clean himself up, kind of, trim his beard a little bit, his hair, clean himself, go to the dry cleaners, pick up his clothes, head back, get all prepped and ready. Zach, based on my brief knowledge, my brief investigative work into that I did prior to almost all of this in the campaign, where I was like looking into Leopold and his and Yvonne. Is there anything that I would know of that Yvonne would possibly like?
I would like you to roll me, we're going to say an investigation check. And this will be an investigation, a check from Rikus about, half a week ago.
Oof.
Great.
That's not horrible.
Okay, so a 15.
15.
So there's a couple pieces I'll give you. First of all, Rikus, as you, whenever you step into a new room, immediately case the room, you noticed there were a couple particular things. One, it seems like old artistic vases are a pretty popular decoration around the main room. There were also not one, but 2 separate pots of seemingly like yellow or almost like more exotic, like bright green, like daffodils, set in different flower pots. And there was like a constant smell of like lavender inside the main room. You don't know if that was from cleaning materials and chemicals, or if that's a particular scent that is enjoyed by the members of this household. With the 15, that's what you pick up.
Okay, sounds good. Rikus is gonna go pick up a vase and some exotic daffodil-looking things that he recognized from the vases, and then I don't know, some lavender soap. I think the lavender soap too. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so you can go ahead and mark, I'd say 4 gold off your character sheet. Rikus is not going to buy an expensive vase. So you buy a pretty cheap vase. You splurge a little on the flowers, and then the bar of lavender soap is not expensive. So as that is your morning, Leopold, as you wake up early, what preparations would you like to do for your guests?
First of all, I would like to inquire with Yvonne, just make sure she got everything that she needs food-wise well. And then I will ask. I'll just ask Yvonne if she needs me to do anything, and if not, I have a few things I intend to do in my workshop.
Alright, so as you kind of step into the kitchen, there's multiple things being prepared. There seems to be like a large, like cauldron of oil that is on the stove that is burning, that she seems to be like throwing some kind of potato into. Seems cut in like a zigzag formation. As she's throwing these in, there's multiple salmon in with just a long list of spices on the island in this kitchen. As you come in, she's like actively chopping up some onions and throwing them into a fryer. She says, yes, what can I do for you?
Well, I was wondering if there was anything I could do for you. I was the one who got us into this, after all.
I appreciate that. I don't think you've ever asked me that question before. No, I think I have this handled. If you could hand me that small box of materials over there and set it on the island, that would be appreciated. And then she says, if there is any particular vintage of wine that you would like your friends to try, maybe picking that up. I pulled out a few different bottles for you to choose from, but I don't know, maybe something a little bit more adventurous would be worthwhile.
Well, then I suppose we'll have to do a little bit of wine tasting then. After that, if you need me, I'll probably be down in my workshop, working on a few things.
Alrighty, will do. It's
No.
probably like 6:30, 7 o'clock. Like, dawn barely has happened at this point.
Mm-hmm. Do a little bit of the wine tasting. Maybe we get like or something interesting, like an elderberry or a cranberry wine.
Cranberry wine. Okay, how much is Leo gonna splurge on this wine?
Decently.
Decently? Okay, so you probably pick up like a 50 gold bottle of wine. You know, you're like, I'm not gonna go out and spend 250 gold because it'll just be wasted on these people.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'll buy one that's probably nicer than they've ever had.
Yeah.
So you go, you pick up the wine, you probably get back sometime around 9:30. Well, probably more like 9. What project would you like to work on for about an hour before you have to start cleaning up?
It would mostly be the things that I got on my level up. Like, I got a wand of detect magic. That I'm going to be creating those.
Okay. So creating some wands of detect magic. Anything else in particular we should know about before we move on?
Probably not anything too important other than just general magical tinkering that I got from my stuff on level up.
Oh, alright. Wayne, what are you doing this morning before you make your way to the Lenokdon Manor?
He's pre-gaming.
Wayne is butt chugging beer.
Gonna sleep in. And then I'm gonna leave a little bit early because Periwinkle is going to carry me to them.
Okay. Will do. Wake up early. Maybe eat a couple kind of already turning stale cookies. Somehow they're already turning stale. Okay. Secure. Linen. Linen, you are not going to be waking up till almost 10:30. So you are going to wake up and scramble to get across town, just to be there a little bit late. Secure. What would you like to do this morning? And when do you think you woke up?
He probably, since honestly, like, elves don't need a lot of sleep. It's like 4 hours, right?
Yeah. I mean, remember, you're not an elf, but I'm pretty sure you have all the same...
It's the same thing.
bonuses as an elf, yeah.
Mhm.
But you're not
Yeah,
an
he
elf!
probably just got like probably 5 hours just because he could, and then spent the rest of his time setting up his room, like getting out those containers of blood, and and other cooking ware, so that he has like a spot to actually tinker with it. If he can find any like if like the box came with like big pieces of wood that made up the box, he might like line the floor with that so nothing spills on the floor. So he has like a corner of his room that's set up specifically for making his medicine.
Okay. Will do.
Medicine.
So as you
Blood
went
for the
to
blood god.
sleep, Lennon seemingly was setting up a desk of some kind so that he could begin transcribing this note. As you wake up, after your 4.5-5 hours of sleep, you step outside and you still hear Lennon writing in his room. It's probably, from the time you went to bed, it's probably 2-3 a.m. at this point. You're well rested. You don't need any more sleep. You've slept your 5 hours. You get out and he is still awake.
If he is, I'm actually gonna go over to him. Would that break things that you guys have resolved if I do that?
Lennon will still stay up to finish the note. He just probably will be like on the last. He'll probably be working on the last word of this by now. Like he's gotten the note, just not what it's signed by at this point.
Alright, then he's gonna like knock on his door, walk in and say, like, I've gotten my sleep for the night. Have you gone to bed?
What bed? What?
To sleep.
Wait, what time is it?
Does he have like circles under his eyes at this point? Does he look like...
Oh, he's an air genasi, so he has like super light gray skin. There's like multiple lines of wrinkles under his eyes at this point.
Well, I'll go to sleep when I finish. I'm almost done. I promise.
I can take over for you. I can take
No,
over for you.
no,
You
no,
can
no,
get your
it's a-
sleep.
I'm,
I won't. I'll write on my own pieces.
I'm on the
paper, so
last.
it's not-
I'm on the last part, Saki. This is where it gets good.
Okay, I hate to do this to you. 1 hour. Then lights out. Okay.
I'll be done in 30 minutes. I'll be done in half that time. I'm close. So close.
I bet you will. I bet you will. 30 minutes. See if you can beat 30 minutes, and then he's gonna close the door.
As soon as Lennon completes the last word, he'll just pass out. Just slump forward, head bang on desk. Just
Also, can I just say, your guys' memes are... I'm loving these.
I'm checking on him every once in a while. I'm not doing a lot myself.
Of course it was Aiden who did the meme of Zach. I don't need sleep, I need answers.
I didn't.
Okay. So.
Well, I might, for the rest of that time, Zach, I might, like, while he's asleep on the table, take a look at what notes he has. I probably won't be able to do much. I know some Infernal, that might be the only advantage I have. But I'm not going to write on anything that he has. I'm going to, like, take my own notes and put papers next to his head.
Okay.
Is there anything I could do in that time?
At this point, Lennon has actually already deciphered the whole note, but it's in his own shorthand as of this point. Because he effectively wrote it down from one note in that shorthand, just spelled out in all the languages, and you only speak 2 of the languages involved, and there are 5.
Why? So can I even tell that he's figured it out?
No, you actually don't think he's figured it out yet.
Okay, then I'm going to spend the rest of my time, Lennon, helping you out.
How long before Lennon wakes up?
What time is it right now?
It's like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh gosh, he's going to sleep like 6-7 hours.
Okay. Sakir, roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence isn't bad. I'm gonna actually pull up my character sheet on this thing. I keep forgetting to. Okay, yeah. Intelligence. What happened to my intelligence modifier? It's gone.
What do you mean?
I have a +5, but the modifier is 0. Well,
I imagine Lennon's shorthand is just like the stuff you can read are just like nonsensical words. It's like young simple imp, ritual.
So Sakir, you have a +3 to your intelligence.
Implants, stuff like just whack.
I don't know why it
weird
says what it
words
says.
out of context.
+3? Rolling +3. Nat 20.
Oh, baby. Okay.
Go.
So you are going to spend the next 4 hours almost taking the notes, and you note that he does have a transcription book on each of the 5 languages in this note, and you begin deciphering it. You spend 4 hours, and you also put this note together as best you can. You also get stuck on the thing it is signed by that seems to continuously give you difficulty trying to figure out what it is. Likely because of how old it is, it's a word that is either dead and no longer used in the language, but it does appear to be in the celestial tongue.
Oh. Okay. So I just basically what you're saying is I just did in 4 hours what took him several days.
What took him
Yes.
about 5 or 6 hours. He has not worked on it yet. He's worked on
Okay.
it. He's looked at it for like an hour, maybe.
Okay. Cool.
And-
Well, I will leave those papers on his desk before I leave.
And to be fair to Linen, you had all of the resources and a good starting point. Off of
Yeah, I know.
Hence why
I had a very unfair advantage. And a nat 20.
and nat 20. So
He's
as
just
you
that good.
Finish up, do you plan on doing anything else this morning leading through?
I'll probably take my daily dose. There's probably plenty of small things I could do for the apartment to get set up. Probably like when he wakes up now, the fridge, it has like a few things in it that I've been carrying around. Things are actually kind of clean, which is odd. He definitely had a lot of extra time on his hands if he actually got around to cleaning the place. Everything's put together in his room, and also hidden to the best of his ability, so if someone were to just surprise check his room, they wouldn't be like, oh, there's blood in the corner. So,
Okay. Do you cook at all this morning?
besides the medicine, probably not.
Okay.
No.
As you're cooking the medicine, like right as you're finishing up, there is a knock at the door.
Alright. Bottle it.
Okay. As you
Check the door.
walk up to the front door, you kind of look through the little peer hole, and it appears that Pete is outside your doorway.
Yep, not answering that. I'm going back.
As soon as you begin to step away, the knocking continues, and he says, "Hey, hold on, just open the door."
Can I do some sort of insight investigation or something like, well,
You can do an insight.
why is he so eager? Okay. I'm gonna roll a d20, just a flat d20, because I'm gonna look at my modifier in a second, I promise. Roll. Yeah, I didn't roll very well, so either way.
I mean, he's old. You could take it.
In a fight, right?
But he really seems like, fine, okay.
In a fight, right?
No, he like, if he speaks up again, and he seems like at all earnest, he's just gonna,
He does seem somewhat earnest.
does he have the chain lock? Can I chain lock him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or it's like half open?
So
Good
as
morning.
You peek out. There is an elderly gnome woman around his leg, seemingly walking with him at this point. And he kind of looks at you and says, hey, so I smell a little what you're doing there, okay? No shame, just saying, with these apartments, you probably should get some plastic wrap and wrap the whole room that you're doing that in. 1, no evidence. 2, no trace. 3, it's just cleaner. You can take the plastic and throw it away later. They don't care. They pick it up every Thursday morning. Not a Thursday.
Also, I love-
this morning.
We have plastic?
Plastic exists?
Yeah, I was gonna say, plastic fridges also apparently exist, going by your comment earlier, Jade. And I guess a trash service existing isn't the most unrealistic considering it's a large setting, but
Certain plastics exist, but yes, effectively,
It's
like just take
magic.
a thin film of something. That way, it doesn't get on the walls, doesn't get on a carpet. That way, you can keep your security deposit.
I mean, you could theoretically do the same with like a cloth, like just a piece of cloth.
Wait,
Right.
so he could smell all the blood?
I mean, he's literally cooking blood. So, you could smell something in the apartment, that's for sure.
I'll nod and say,
But to be fair, cooking blood would just smell like cooking a nice roast.
It's just really raw meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still saying this. He's still approached it.
I'm gonna squint
You
at
also
him.
don't know what else is in that medicine. Anyway.
I'm gonna nod slowly and say, alright, I'll let Lennon know. And you plug your nose.
He says, plug your nose, Gina. And he plugs his nose and begins walking away.
And he goes ahead, shuts the door. I am now going to do a full investigative search of my room to see if there's any peepholes where the ventilation ducts go, and I am paranoid.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check. You're probably going to spend most of the rest of your morning just looking around the apartment.
Yes, I literally was getting bored, started sweeping, and I was like, I'll go ahead and make medicine, and then like a minute later he came to the door, and the rest of my time is spent doing this.
I mean, now you're just doing a different kind of sweeping.
Exactly. Okay, 13 plus my investigation, which is a 6.
So a 19. So with a 19,
Yeah.
you don't find any peepholes. You do, however, find the carpet in the corner of your bedroom is loose. And as you pull it loose, there is like a dug-in hole in the floor that probably was used as some kind of stashing location at one point. Because the carpet sets back down very, very well and doesn't cave in at all. As you kind of look at it, you're like, this is the perfect size for smuggling a child.
That is my first thought. That isn't Zach's first thought, to be clear.
Hold
This is
on.
Secures. You just let me know.
Are we talking human child or halfling child? Because if it's a human child, it could also just be a halfling.
Probably more like a human child.
Yeah, how do you know it's not a halfling they're
But
trafficking?
it also could, move a couple
One
hundred
human
pounds-
child, 3 halflings.
A couple 100 pounds of, white snow. If you pack it in real nice.
This whole it's for me.
So the hole itself, is it more of like, that's first of all very weird that this is on the 6th floor. Lot of flooring space this is somehow taking up. 2, the hole is completely isolated. There's no holes in that. It doesn't lead to another room or anything.
As you kind of
Not a passage, a
as
hole.
you kind of peek down in there, there actually does seem to be like little tunnels. There's about 3 that lead from this room, and they're maybe fist width. Like maybe a mouse could crawl through them. Maybe a rat at the biggest.
Breathing holes? Question mark.
You don't know. You'd have to do more investigation.
Yeah, can I just do that?
You'd have to do a lot more investigation, and preferably be able to turn into something that can go through those tunnels. Which I don't think you can do.
No.
We need a scroll of polymorph.
Alright, so you know what, for now, I'm going to borrow some wax from Linen, and I'm just gonna plug up all those holes. And plug up the holes within the hole, and then lay the carpet flat.
Okay. So as you lay the carpet flat, you kind of step back outside, and the sun is really starting to rise in the sky, and you're like, wait, what time is it? As this happens, Linen, you actually wake up about this time. As it is about 9:30 or so. You've gotten about 7 hours. You kind of like roll off your desk, and there's like 4 times as many notes than you left here last night. You're like, did I sleep research again? What happened?
You can tell it's not your paper. If you've seen Secur's paper before, you know it's Secur's paper.
Maybe he's secretly a genius. What? Where am I? This isn't my room. He'll like gather his papers and just like stumble out of the door. It's like, What time? Where am I? What? Who? Who are you? Linden's still waking up. Who? Rikus, right?
Secure.
Sorry.
So close.
What time did I did talk to you last night. What time did I sleep last night?
2, 3,
Why
give or
do I-
take.
Why do I feel like I fought a demon or something?
You didn't, right?
Did I? Ah, well.
He's gonna go over to the faucet. He's gonna fill up some water. He's like, want some water?
Sure.
Splashes in face.
Ah!
You awake?
Why?
It's about time to go.
Where are we going?
Lunch.
What? What? What are the... Oh. Oh no. What did I forget this time?
Get dressed.
He never undressed. He's still like his like ripped and bloody clothes.
Exactly.
Like,
Get dressed in something else.
That's all I have. Starts
Okay,
like,
I have some fine. He's gonna like get out like some.
He starts like self-mending his clothes as he like gathers his papers and like
Okay, that's
gets
not a bad
ready to
idea.
go. He
All right,
he gets
yeah,
used.
we're gonna head out together then.
Then he gets much use out of prestidigitation and mending.
You do.
Okay, so as you kind of wake up and gather, I just love the fact that Lennon wakes up in the morning, like the morning after a one-night stand, just like, where am I? Who
Yeah,
are
whose
you?
bed-
What's
whose
your
bedroom
name
is this?
again?"
Whose bedroom is this?
This isn't my bedroom.
I don't even own a bed.
That book is starting to become a lot more intriguing.
A lot more apt. Okay, so Leopold, as you have finished crafting some stuff, you go, you clean up, you get ready. About the time that you are finishing up and getting back into the main area and smelling the fresh aroma of salmon and fries and sautéed onions and like spiced and cooked zucchini, you taking a deep whiff, and there is a solid, sturdy 1, 2, 3 knock on the door as Rikus is outside.
Seeing as I'm going to assume Yvonne is still in the kitchen at this point,
She is still in the kitchen at this point.
I will get the door myself. And while opening the door, you can tell it's not hard for Leopold, but it's also not trivial either. Is he? I did dumb strength.
So as he opens the door, Rikus, you are standing there with a vase and flowers and a bar of soap.
Rikus looks at the stuff in Rikus' hand. Good to see you. You're the first one here. Are the gifts for Yvonne? Yvonne?
Well, I see the master answers his own doors at least.
Well,
Yeah,
Yvonne-
sure. Do you want a bar of soap? No, as he starts to walk in, and Rikus, just to point out, is like, besides the light amount of like dust on his boots from just walk, like from the walk, like he's basically spotless of mud and dirt. Like, this is the cleanest, obviously, you've ever seen him since you've met him. But he steps in and says, "Well, your maid seemed to have made a point of my cleanliness, and I thought she would appreciate this, at least from me." And he sets the on one of the entry tables, sits down the vase with the flowers and the bar of soap, and says, "Either way, it seems I am early. Is there anything you need help with?"
Well, I'd asked Yvonne earlier if she needed anything. If you do want to check out my work, she didn't say she needed anything. I imagine she'll probably want to see these gifts. And if you want, since you're the first one here, I can go ahead and show you my workshop. But you see, Leopold paused for a moment before he walks up close to you and just puts a hand around your shoulder and says, "My opinion of you has jumped immensely, Rikus, because of this." And
Rikus looks a little confused, but he's like,
I wanted you to know that I wasn't quite sure what to think of you, especially after our disagreement of conduct on the last mission, you might say. But I think it's plain to see with this that you are a respectable man. Even if you aren't always quite prim and proper, you might say.
Reich is kind of looking over to him, looking up at him, and actually, are you taller than me? I have no idea. Anyways,
I have a height for Leo.
What?
I don't know if I have a height for Leo. Maybe they're about the same height. I don't know.
You're
Looks
probably
at him.
taller than me. Rikus is going to look up to him slightly and says, "Well, I may be rough around the edges, but I at least know my ways around things." And kind of clasps his coat and says, "Well, what is it you want to show me?"
Well, first, I figured you'd want to give Yvonne your gift in person, although hopefully she's not too busy in the kitchen. I'm having a wonderful meal. I'm not going to spoil it, unless Yvonne wants me to. She can be quite particular about these things, but she is the woman of the house. Woe betide the man who crosses her.
I'll leave that to you then, if you want to fetch her.
I will go and fetch Yvonne, saying that Rikus is here, and that I'm not going to, say directly that he brought gifts, but I'll say that, I think you'll be a lot happier to see him this time, if you can spare the time.
She is actively pulling out the fish at this point as she sets it on the center island and sprays the last little bit of spice. She says, "Well, all right," and she takes the apron off and kind of washes her hands real quick as she steps outside, and immediately sees Rikus a little bit more clean than usual. Kind of looks him up and down and says, "Well, I guess you're not a complete dusty buffoon."
Yes, I took notes from our last interactions. I thought you would appreciate it if I didn't track mud into the place. It is quite well kept.
I do my best.
Anyways, madam, I thought you might appreciate these. This is just for all of the work and preparation you did for hosting us this morning. And he gestures to the vase and the lavender soap on the entry table.
As she looks towards it, she kind of smirks to herself a little bit. I appreciate the flora. I'm not entirely sure what the soap is for, or what that is insinuating, but I appreciate the few gold you spent on them. I need to get back to the food. I'm sure he wishes to show you the workshop. Just try not to track too much of the grime from down there, if at all possible, Leopold.
Don't worry, Yvonne, I wouldn't dream it.
And
The lavender soap is just... I noticed the smell of lavender last time, and I thought it would help possibly clean anything that that hour, and he gestures to Leopold. Friends may track in.
Well, I will make sure Leopold uses it instead of his usual soap as penance. Regardless, we appreciate the improvement. I must get back to the food, though, lest I burn something. And she kind of looks back in and then immediately scrambles into the kitchen as oil seems to be almost piling out of the cauldron.
Well, one thing I do want to ask, as obviously Yvonne has left, I've lived with Yvonne for quite a while. I know her, I know her pretty well. What is her opinion of Rikus now?
Go ahead and roll me an insight, and even if you low roll, you will still get stuff because of how well you know Yvonne. But I am curious.
Got to open my character sheet in Foundry. I have no insight bonuses and I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Yikes.
Well, from what you know of Yvonne, she's definitely, maybe not impressed, but definitely views Rikus a little bit better now. You would probably say how she first described him as buffoon is likely how she thought of him before he entered into this establishment this time. She still probably doesn't think too highly of him, but definitely better than the first meeting, which kind of makes you scared at how she's going to receive the rest of the group.
Perhaps I should have told them to dress
Can we
up.
take my roll?
Your roll?
I rolled a
Oh,
natural 20
wait.
Nat 20. So,
for 27.
Do you
So
want
good.
to insight Yvonne?
Sure. Yeah, that's actually what I was gonna do. I wasn't expecting a 20, but yeah, I got a natural 20.
So, oh my
Humble
gosh.
brag.
So with a nat 20, Yvonne really hates the vase and soap. Like, really hates the vase and soap. The flowers she's actually pretty down with, but you know you're never seeing that vase again. It's probably getting thrown in the trash the moment you guys leave later today. However, you know, there's definitely some development in that, whatever you call it, your relationship with your buddy's servant.
I'm waiting for someone to ask about it because I have the absolute response as soon as someone asks about that. But anyways,
So that is what you would get from that. You don't know Yvonne very well yet, so.
So I don't know if I want to dare ask, but ask about what?
wait, what is this in character?
No, out of character. Sorry.
Oh no. Oh, just the fact that never. If Rikus has an interest in Yvonne, essentially, because Rikus has the perfect response. Either way, Rikus is going to noticeably that the vase and the soap were the bad call. He's like, I should have gotten a lavender spray or something, but hands the soap to he just walks up, picks up the soap, and he hands it to Leopold. Says, "Told you it was for you." Anyways, what do you want to show me?
Take the soap, and I imagine I probably have pockets somewhere on the outfit that I'm wearing. I'll just put it in the pocket, and I shall lead the way to my workshop. It's not too far of a walk through the house, as it is in the basement. So you have the entryway with the little foyer that we sat in last time. I imagine the dining hall is to the right. If you continue going straight down the hallway and then to the left, there's a staircase going down. And down there, Yeah, Leo, I guess there's nothing too special as Leo opens the door. You can see that the basement itself is just sort of like, I guess, stone hewn. Actually, no, I guess the walls would be stone, but well, no, now I'm thinking about it, probably would just be like wood more on the side, because I don't think this is built like directly on stone. But you can tell that there is like some stone flooring. This place is not like pristine clean as the house above is. It's more, I guess, tidy, you might say. Everything has its place, but with how much actual work goes on here and the like rind that is going to build up, it is never going to be clean, and Theo will not torture Yvonne by putting her through that. But you can see that the majority of the I guess workshop space is actually dedicated to a small firing range, and of course he has quite a big, I guess, big barrier behind the targets just to make sure there's no damage whatsoever. And you can tell that the barrier is definitely seeing its shots. There are of course a few targets, a few like distance markers and what have you. But aside from that, there is a large workbench with a wide variety of tools. And you can see that there is a small, not quite like full-on smithing station, but it'll allow, it's got the bellows and it'll allow you to heat up a bit of metal and do a little bit of messing around with the metal while it's hot. But obviously no full-on like mold. Well, he might have that. If you can't tell, I had not thought about the details of the workshop before saying that I'd give you the tour of it.
It's all fine.
But the majority of it is dominated by a few workbenches, and you can see there's actually a few different workbenches, each with apparently some sort of like tool midway through progress. And you can see at one of them, Leopold leads you over. I just finished these this morning. I thought that since we needed to, I guess we ran into a bit of magical things on our last excursion, you might say. I thought to create these. He holds up a pair of goggles, sets them down over his face, messes with some dials, presses a button on the side. These will allow you to detect magic while they're active. They have 3 charges per day, and they can refill their magic at dawn. I figure they'd be quite handy if we're going to be doing more investigation. Of course, with the, I guess, the consistency of funds from the Academy of Dusk, I'll have more time to invent things like this. You'll tap them, pull them back up. Of course, I have a few guns and such. But is there anything in particular you'd like to see?
DM, about how early did Rikus show up?
Rikus probably showed 20 minutes early.
Okay. He's going to palm a few of the guns and other things that are on your workbenches, and some of the things that are either halfway assembled or fully assembled. And thinking it probably is now not the time to, test fire a few different things since he spent all this time cleaning himself.
I guess one comment about the guns. You will notice that most of them, I don't know if you saw too much of how Leo used his guns, but most of them aren't the pistols. They are like the more large blunderbuss style guns.
Yeah. Afterwards, he says, well, I believe we won't really have the time right now to thoroughly go through many of these inventions. I'm curious what many of them do. However, we do have a meeting underway in a few minutes.
True, certainly true. I mean, if you want, I could give you a brief primer on a few of them too. I think some of them are quite interesting. I could talk for hours, though, so perhaps it's best not to get started. If you ever do want to, I am
Let's-
happy to talk shop.
Yes, let's perhaps talk shop after this meeting.
Well, I don't know how much time we'll have here after lunch and then going on to the Academy of Dusk. Who knows? I might teleport us out right again.
Either way, we'll find time to talk about it.
All right, and then as you are leaving, you'll see Leo. He has like a few rags scattered around the place. He'll try to find the cleanest ones. Of course, none of them are truly clean. Each of them has at least one, if not more, stains. But since Yvonne requested it, he will hand you a few of the rags, and let's try and polish off our boots to the best we can. And he will begin to try and get all of the dust and grime that is accumulated on his boots off.
Rikus very swiftly kind of wipes away any accumulation, as his boots were in fairly pristine condition this morning, but prior to walking over, so he didn't have to try very hard.
So, the other three of you actually will arrive at pretty similar time frames, considering Sakir is deciding when Linen follows. You guys are all able to arrive, 1 or 2 minutes before 11 a.m. in this morning. Do either of you guys bring anything to this little party? I'm assuming it's...
I don't know if we have time. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess, how well cleaned up and dressed are the two of you?
I'm pretty good at this point because I was just bored for several hours, so I kind of just did a little of everything. I would assume I'm way more cleaned up than I've been in months. Not years.
Out of the three, Sakir's probably the best dressed, and by that he looks in between street urchin and middle class.
Feels like
Yeah,
a
I
very
have my
well-
fine clothes on.
It's very wide. It's because his boots are very good looking, and he's probably holding himself like someone in the middle class with the clothes of a street urchin. So
Sakir?
yes, Sakir. So, as you and Linen are pulling up from the cross street section just before you get to the house, you have to do a double take because you see Wayne atop a bugbear.
Half bugbear, half Goliath.
Yeah, but the Goliath is not very visible from this distance.
It's just the biggest bugbear you've ever seen.
Like, easily 9 feet tall. And its arms almost reach the ground. Like, ginormous creature. With periwinkle atop its back.
Am I still dreaming, or is that Wayne on top of that?
That is Wayne enacting his righteous judgment upon that poor soul.
That's a person?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. Is this one of those kink things?
No. No, and don't repeat that word. You don't know how to use it yet.
No, not really.
Cake? Wait, what?
Kink.
It's like king.
Oh, cake. Kink. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
I heard cake.
It's a cake
Is
thing.
that a cake thing? Is
Dang.
it periwinkle or is it cake? Chops the leg off. It was periwinkle!
Oh no. Is that
Alright.
So as
Is
you
that
guys
what he
all
does in
meet
here?
up, this massive bugbear creature steps right up to you guys and just hulks over you as Wayne is just still sitting atop his back.
Alright,
Ooh,
you
we
can
need an
put down-
explanation.
Periwinkle reaches up and almost with his whole hand can almost like reach most of the circumference of Wayne's torso, and he just grabs him and sets him on the ground beside him.
Thank you. You may go now.
Periwinkle, kind of at a slow jaunt, lumbers off.
You didn't care to introduce us?
That is fascinating.
He's not a person for the next 37 days.
Yeah, that's just simply not true. Why?
Is this a religion thing, Sakir?
Or is this a Wayne thing? You're getting on my nerves the past few days.
He stole from the church. Don't worry, his kids are well taken care of.
His kids.
And then he's just going to turn and walk inside.
So as you walk to the door,
We're trying to like ask you questions too. We're like, wait.
so as you go up and knock on the door, you guys actually see Wayne and Leopold coming up from the basement, and they start moving to the door as Yvonne seemingly makes it to the door first, not noticing they were getting there, and opens the door and says, "Oh dear heavens!" She turns around and sees Leopold. Come on in. Lunch is almost served.
I take a big old whiff.
It smells deeply of like lavender and salmon, and there's
Lavender?
definitely something oiled in oil in the back.
Smells like
I don't
my
know if you guys.
ex in here.
Yeah.
What did you say, Nate?
Smells like my ex in here.
Well, your ex had refined taste, unlike yourself, as per obviously noted.
Rike is leaning against the wall as she walks by and says, "I told you you'd need the soap."
You get to
I
visit
think
on
I've-
them along with the hose outside when this is all done.
Oh, gladly.
And
I love how this implies that we also have hoses.
Right? Like-
Rubber probably exists to some degree, I guess.
Look, just imagine, like, we are technically in the year, like, 3000 something, okay? Technology has not expanded because magic is in its place. A
Fair.
lot of the same comforts that, say, we would have in our society, not in the same way, but are still provided by those who can do magic, or can...
Would you say we're in the
artists.
80s as far as like what
I'd
we
say
can
we're
expect to be around
earlier-
us?
We're earlier than that. It's more like
Obviously, no
1600s,
cars.
but with magic that makes some things feel like the 2010s.
Cool.
It's a solid mix of the two.
I like it.
As she's walking away, I'm just... And then I cast Prestidigitation on myself.
Okay.
Did
so
we do
you-
something wrong?
You clean yourself up a little bit. Leopold, how would you like to welcome your guests?
Doing his best to recover from Yvonne's interaction with Wayne. He'll say, "Welcome, welcome. I believe Rikus is the only one who's ever been here before, but this is my house. I believe lunch will be ready in probably 5 minutes, PM."
Fuck, Nate.
Oh god, what did Nate post?
What did he post?
No. Anyways,
No,
so lunch,
no.
5 minutes? Question mark.
God.
What did you say, Aiden?
I would say lunch is ready in 5 minutes? Question mark,
Yes,
DM.
the table is being set for lunch right now. Like, the food is being set on it.
Well, the table is currently being set, and while that is going on, we can, gesture to the foyer, we can simply sit here and, well, have a conversation. I figure if we're going to be on a team, we may as well get to know each other better.
Did we do something to upset her?
Well, Yvonne is the one in charge of keeping this place clean, and if you can imagine, less work for her, the better. That's my fault for not telling you what to clean up. And I'm probably going to be paying for it by getting chewed at by her later.
I mean, we have 2 magic users in here. If I'm smelling terrible, just let me know, and you don't even need to. You can just do your thing.
I
Yeah,
think,
does he smell
Rikus,
terrible?
Rikus is gonna kind of reach into Leopold's pocket and hand secure the soap and say, maybe use that one next time.
What scent is it? What scent is it?
It's lavender.
It's lavender.
Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Okay, Sakir hates lavender. He does not like it.
It is
He's-
literally
he
built
is
into
sick
his
of it.
backstory. Like, this is an actual thing. This is not a made
Yes,
up.
the entire time, Sakir, whatever he can, has held up a napkin to his face in conversation. And when you hand him like a stick of lavender, he's going to actually scowl at you.
Well, it's
and,
not
like,
a stick
toss
of
it
lavender.
back.
It's lavender
Wait,
scent.
Rikus would know this, wouldn't he? Does he?
No,
No, this
no.
has been developed over the last couple of years.
Oh, I don't know this then. Rikus is just as confused.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
doesn't
don't-
matter. Sakir's getting tired of it. He's like pretending it doesn't matter, and then you literally hand him like essence of lavender in a brick.
You don't like soap, Secure.
What if? Hold on. What if
No.
he just passes it off to Linen? And we just constantly trade the soap bar around.
Yo, who's got the soap? Don't drop it.
Put soap in bag of holding. I guess I don't know when I'm gonna use this. I clean myself with magic, but all right. Put soap in bag.
Well, we had a good night's sleep. Linen translated a whole bunch of that paper. I helped him out a little bit in the morning. I did a good job, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll hear all about it in our meeting later, but no sense in involving work too much now. I want this to be more casual, more enjoyable. I mean, like I said earlier, if we're going to be working on a team together, well, figured we ought to know each other.
Well, I'm not going first.
Well, considering it is my house, and I'm the one who united us all together, I thought, well, at least I should probably start us off. My
Are
name
we
is...
sitting down?
I imagine we are
I
probably
would
sitting
say
down
at this
where
point you guys could have moved to the dining room and began.
for that.
served.
Yeah. So I guess do you want to describe the meal, Zach? Because I don't remember everything that was on it.
So there are two separate, very large salmon fillets set out, more than enough for probably 10 people, even full-grown men as yourselves. There is a very large stack of almost like seafood spice, like crinkle-cut fries. There's some fried zucchini mixed up with some spices, and then there's some sautéed onions as well, along with 2 bottles of wine that are the cheaper bottles of wine to start off, set at the table.
Yum.
So, as sits down, of course, I imagine Yvonne is standing by and waiting in case there are any requests that need to be made. But actually, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if you guys have a visual reference for what Yvonne looks like, so I'm very quickly going to post that in the Inexorables once I find it.
Oh my gosh, Nate, what is that gift, dude?
Right.
Don't you know
Yeah.
anything about my posts yet?
They're all sexual, I know, that's fine.
So in the regular Inexorables channel, that is what Yvonne looks like.
Nice.
So Leopold, in between his talk about himself, he will probably get a few, small bites of food in. But, well, my name is Leopold Ellenotdown. I was born in. Well, I'm gonna very quickly check my character background so I don't accidentally say something that is contradicting with my background. I'm a member of the Knockdown Noble House. Gestures to his fine house and maid, if all of that was not obvious. But I prefer not to talk about my family, so I shall leave it at that. I came here to Reverdan about 5 years ago, and oh god, what got posted?
God.
Where was I? Yes. Well, I came here to Reverdan about 5 years ago, and I've well, worked as a monster hunter, you might say. There are quite a few stories I can tell, but well, suffice to say, I have a lot of experience in tracking things down, though, considering the this extraplanar nature of some of the threats it looks like we'll be facing, sadly, I don't know how much of my usual tactics could be relied upon. Most of it involves a lot of research in the libraries, which, yes, from what I've seen, looks like you'll be quite experienced with linen. But most of these beings might not have that much material to research about. I am, as I'm sure you all saw, quite handy with quite a few magical firearms, and I can do some other magical tinkerings as well. But if there's anything else you wish to know about me, feel free to ask. Can't guarantee you an answer, but you can ask.
Well, what does your family do exactly?
Leo will. You can see him pause for a moment before saying, well, my family is a ruler of a small territory, and, well, they do what all nobles do. And that's, yeah, all I'd like to say on that. My family's in Zadash, and I am here.
I'm so sorry, I keep getting really distracted. Oh my god.
Concessions mean
I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be.
It's
I
maybe
imagine
games, but it's horribly distracting.
I
actually need to like have a screen on the OBS dedicated to.
I imagine-
Do this for
Do
the
the
speed.
memes.
I imagine the
'Cause
I imagine the in-game like translation to this is just Wayne making faces at Yvonne the entire time Leopold is talking.
I will shoot you. Actually, no, I should go. I will shoot you.
Wayne has sent one smirk. I don't know, probably not.
Well, if there's no further questions, I guess we could go around the table. And I'd imagine, considering Rikus was the first here, he's probably at my right-hand side. So, if you're willing to, Rikus.
Oh, it's my turn? Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, only if you will.
He's already drunk.
No. Rikus, finishes taking a sip of his wine.
Wonderful canned wine.
Well, I wouldn't say that my life is increasingly interesting, but I mean, I guess it would be since my brother and I aren't obviously from around here, so all I really have to say is, my brother and I, we came to this country and worked as mercenaries for a time, then conscripted into the military, and during the Githyanki War, I served my time there, and then continued my service afterwards in the military police and in other regards for the joint task forces of the nations post the Githyanki War. So afterwards, I had an accident that caused me to force my retirement a little bit. Since then, I've been doing things on the side, and then I found myself here, as I knew the people from the academy, so it wasn't a hard choice to work with them. I don't know. There's a lot of other things that have gone on in my life. I've plenty of things to talk about, but that's a brief introduction, to say the least. How well does that summarize it, brother?
As far as the first part, it's as brief and well-rounded a summary as one can get. As far as the second, I didn't know about most of that until just now.
I guess it's a fair point. Well, I guess going into it a little further, at least the first part, yes, my brother and I are not from here. We are from the Shadowfell. I know that we're typically mistaken for drow, however, we are not drow. We are Shadar-kai that are born and raised in the Shadowfell. However, he and I had left our tribe after some things that went down over there, and came here. Any questions?
Mia will very curious, finish the bite he's chewing, and then once I can't believe I've ever met anyone who's done interplanar travel, unless you count a brief meeting with some members of the Academy of Dusk, but how did you do that?
There are ways in and out of the Shadowfell that I know not many know of, both in the Shadowfell and out, but in the Shadowfell it is a little bit more well known if you wanted to leave. Although many tribes believe them taboo.
Yeah, we had to run. Not a good place down there. This is our new home.
Not exactly a safe place either.
And interplanar travel does sound interesting, but the conversation for perhaps another time, and it sounds like that will be quite a larger and perhaps not as pleasant conversation.
Agreed.
Well, you think blood magic's messed up, just wait until you meet a whole tribe of them. So
I was curious where you got it.
Are all of your people? Is all the Shakai from the Shadowfell blood hunters then?
No. I mean, well, you don't know. Yes, not all of them are just our tribe. That is what we practiced, what we did. Different cities trade different materials. That was our contribution.
we came from a warrior tribe of blood hunters and those who practiced different forms of blood magic.
Oh, that explains the blood.
It was a very powerful tribe, one that you wouldn't want to cross. But, as we had said, we needed to run.
Yes. Now, I'm actually very curious about this one, and sorry if there's more you wanted to hear. Wayne, where are you from? Tell us more about this
Wayne's
Coco.
world.
What is it? Kalamar.
Kalimbar?
Elambor.
Kalambor, that's it.
So do you want to know about where I'm from or what I believe in?
Tell us what I know. I know next to nothing about you. I just know that I don't understand you very well, and it'd be best if I did.
Well, long story short, I was born in the Astral Sea. I chose to follow Kelimbor. And then he chose me as his favorite. So I went to preach his great and just name. The little green pointy-eared fucks imprisoned me for it. And then I ended up on this plane because they decided to go to war. And then, well, Kelimbor reminded me that I'm his favorite, as always, and set me free from prison. and gave me my powers, and then I kind of made my way here.
Were you speaking of Gith or goblins?
Good.
We can come to an agreement on them then.
Man, the odds of not only 2 but 3 interplanar travelers in this group. I suppose, well, I suppose a group such as this would track some of the odd kinds, but how did you get from the Astral Sea here?
I was on a floating city. In jail.
Oh, right, I suppose it would have been the Gith who brought you, not brought on your own. Well, perhaps I'll have to ask a Gith if I want to travel to the astral plane, but not like that. I'll tell. For another time.
Yeah.
Kier looks really doubtful. When you mentioned floating city, he's like,
I'm
wait,
from-
how much of this is he making up?
I'm from a floating town too.
Was everybody here from another plane? Am I the only one from the prime material plane here?
No,
Because if that's true, Lennon, I'm going to laugh.
I was born in I was born in the floating fist in Kondura, out west. I guess I should explain myself. As you all know, my name is Linen Weave. Despite looking and like a mage and using magic, I was actually born and raised on a Air Genasi monk monastery out west. My family's monastery is on a floating island of sorts, colloquially known as the Floating Fist, generally found somewhere in Kondura. I left about 10 years ago and traveled east, and found my way to the Academy of Dusk and became a Meister of Medicinal Arts. Due to my interests, and that led me here, I guess. It's yeesh. Yeah, I don't have a very fantastical story like the rest of you all, but I'm glad to be here.
Plenty great, and honestly, sometimes having a less fantastical story might be a better thing in the end.
I mean, you say it's not fantastical, and to me, Floating City sounds, well, I'd say downright magical, but magic can be somewhat mundane thing, quite often. Perhaps fantastical might be a better word.
Yeah, it was kind of, looking back on it, it's kind of a weird place. I probably should write back home. It's been a bit.
I do send a few letters back home, and it can be a good way to keep in touch. I'll say, if you need a courier service, I can recommend you this one I use.
I wonder if they're able to get up there. I had to levitate down.
That might be difficult to issue. I never really inquired as to the exact method they use. Perhaps they use carrier pigeons.
It's honestly, I left so long ago I kind of forgot. Well. But other than that, as you all know, I'm, well, for lack of better words, a sheltered bookworm. Most would call me. So do please put up with me, and I'll try my best.
Leopold's sitting here realizing that he was raised as a boring aristocratic life. Everyone else is like, wow, all these people are so cool. What?
Do you call copious family drama boring?
Copious family drama, the daily life of an aristocrat. It's just like everyone else is like planar travelers, jailed by Give. Like,
I mean,
floating cities.
I mean, Lyndon just left home. That's all he did.
Yeah, I mean,
Poor
but you
young
do also
boy.
have a cool floating city monastery. Which, shifting back in character, I remember the floating city,
It's not a.
Hey, how steady is it? Because I compare it to a sailing ship, but those rock quite a bit.
I say floating city. It's more like a floating mountain, floating island. It's not exactly shared. It's not exactly that my monastery is the only one on there. Anyways, there's a couple. A number of different Genasi monasteries here and there, but it's an interesting place, I guess.
So how
How did-
does it float?
I didn't ask. Maybe Dr. Spindle would know.
Probably fists.
I'd have to ask. I don't. I'm slowly realizing I didn't know too much before I left. That's.
Yeah, well, I mean, from the sounds of it, you were fairly young when you left. I imagine you're quite more experienced now.
Debatable. I'm honestly surprised I made it this far.
Well, you have made it this far, and, well, we all managed to stop that Nalstaroon who was murdering people in Zadash, or not Zadash, what was the name of the city, Zach?
Sargoth.
Sargoth.
Sargoth, thank you. In Sargoth, and, well, pulls out a pocket watch. What time is it?
It is probably about 12:10 at this point, and Yvonne is bringing out the fancy bottle of wine at this point.
No. I don't know how much time we'll have to enjoy the cranberry wine as we... How far is it to the Academy of Dusk?
It's about a 25-minute walk.
We'll have at least a little bit before we need to go to the meeting, and don't worry, it's not too strong. As long as you aren't chugging from the bottle, we should still be compos mentis for the meeting.
So, as the wine is all brought out and poured, and you guys take a pretty big sip and prepare to get up to go to your meeting, we're going to end the session here. I love the supernatural gifts that people are putting on there because I get all the references, and it's fantastical. You don't know how well those fit.
See, I also know how well they fit because my wife.
This is fun. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording, and we will be.
Actually, hold on, Zach. Have you ended the recording?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to ask everybody, what did you all think of the lunch? I don't know, scene.
I liked it. I will ask you guys to do something. It also before the end of the recording here in a second. But
Okay, ask away.
who has high investigative skills?
Passive investigation.
Passive investigation.
I was gonna say
Passive?
everyone but Lennon.
Not Lennon.
Everyone but Lennon.
Literally everyone
Yeah.
but Lennon.
My perception and investigation are both passively 21. So
Whoa,
Dang, I only have a passive 17.
13.
All right.
So why do you
Let's see
ask?
here then. Well, I'm gonna roll. So not super good, like usual. So when Rikus and Sakir were going over their history, you will note that in recent history, you guys know about like before they split up, Sakir was actively calling on other people to make sure that we got to filled in what they were talking about, but never brought up his recent history. And it is now the end of the meal, so it is a little too late now.
That is true, and that is something I thought about and then kind of got lost.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what Sakir has done on the dinner date that we're going to have later, or at least maybe
Dinner
not date.
Dinner date part 2.
What else would we call it?
Yeah. Well, all right. We're gonna go ahead and end the recording there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will begin next session at the meeting, unless you guys want to do something in between, which we'll talk about later, where we are deciding your next mission. I have 3 prepared, so we get to pick one of 3. So we will see you all then.